For the next few minutes, I don't want you to just listen to my words, I want you to feel them. Because what I'm about to share isn't something to simply understand, it's something to experience. By the time we're done, something inside you will begin to shift. You'll start noticing that the world around you isn't random, that your reality has been mirroring you all along. The patterns, the coincidences, the moments of resistance and flow, they've all been quietly responding to you, waiting for you to notice. So right now, let everything else fade away. Give yourself this moment completely. Don't just hear me, be here. Because what you're about to uncover isn't just another idea. It's a key that unlocks a part of your life that's been hidden in plain sight. Think back to a time when you wanted something deeply. Maybe it was a person, a job, an opportunity, a dream. You thought about it day and night. You hoped, you prayed, you worked hard, you tried every possible way to make it happen. And no matter what you did, it stayed out of reach. The more you wanted it, the further away it seemed. You told yourself you were being patient, but deep down, you were frustrated, anxious, and tired of waiting. Every sign you looked for just reminded you that it still wasn't here. Now, remember another time, one where something beautiful unfolded easily. You didn't plan it. You didn't stress over it. Maybe you didn't even care that much. And then, out of nowhere, the right thing appeared. The right person called. The right opportunity showed up. The timing was perfect, effortless, almost magical. You might have even said to yourself, I can't believe that just happened. So why is that? Why do the things we chase seem to run faster, and the things we're relaxed about seem to come to us naturally? The truth is, your reality isn't happening to you. It's responding to you. Most people go through life thinking they're waiting for life to change, waiting for a sign, waiting for luck, but in truth, reality is waiting on them. When you want something so badly that you can't stop thinking about it, what you're really telling reality is that you don't have it. Every time you check if it's coming, every time you wonder when will it happen, you're reaffirming the absence of it. You're saying, it's still missing. And because reality mirrors your inner state, it keeps showing you that lack. But something incredible happens when you finally let go, when you stop checking, stop controlling, stop needing it to happen right now. In that moment, your energy changes. You shift from wanting to allowing, from lack to trust. And that's when things begin to move. That's when the people, opportunities, and experiences start finding you. It's as if reality finally says, now you're ready. You've seen this before. The person who spends years searching for love finally gives up and then suddenly meets someone who's perfect for them. The artist who struggles for recognition finally decides to create just for the joy of it, and their best work gets discovered. The person who keeps trying to make money stops obsessing, and new opportunities begin appearing effortlessly. It looks like luck, but it's not. It's alignment. Because reality doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to what you believe you already are. When you live from the energy of lack, life mirrors back absence. When you live from the energy of fullness, life mirrors back abundance. You don't attract what you chase, you attract what you embody. So the next time you find yourself trying too hard, pause. Step back. Let go. Remember that you're not waiting for reality to change, reality is waiting for you. When your inner world shifts, the outer world can't help but follow. The things you once chased begin to find their way to you naturally, effortlessly, and always right on time. That's the moment everything begins to flow, when you stop trying to control, stop pushing, stop begging life to move faster, and instead, start allowing it to unfold. You begin to see that life was never working against you. It wasn't punishing you, withholding from you, or testing you. It was simply waiting for you to recognize that you've had the power all along, the power to assume, to feel, and to know. Things begin to shift the moment you stop trying to get and instead start being. What you desire moves toward you not because you gave up or stopped caring, but because you finally align with the version of yourself who already has it. When you do that, reality reorganizes itself to match your new state. The outside always mirrors the inside. That's the hidden law most people overlook. This is exactly what Neville Goddard was pointing to. He said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and that assumption, sustained, will harden into fact. Think about that deeply. He didn't say to hope for it. He didn't say to pray desperately or to wait for a sign. He said to assume it. Because assumption isn't wishing, it's knowing. It's a quiet inner certainty that what you want is already done. When you truly assume, something subtle but profound happens, your energy changes. You stop chasing, you stop questioning, and you stop needing proof. Because in your mind, it's already yours. You walk differently, you speak differently, you make choices differently, not because you're pretending, but because your reality has shifted internally first. And that's why doing nothing becomes so powerful. Doing nothing doesn't mean giving up. It means stopping the constant inner resistance, the overthinking, the doubting, the micromanaging of the how and when. The moment you assume it's done, you no longer interfere with the natural flow of events. You stop creating blockages with your anxiety and impatience. Reality finally has the space to align itself with your assumption. You've probably noticed this in your own life. The things you want most, the job, the relationship, the opportunity, seem to take forever. But the small things, the ones you don't obsess over, appear easily and quickly. Why? Because when you don't care too much, you're relaxed. You're not attached, you're not constantly checking for results, and you're not vibrating in lack. You're in a state of allowing, and that's when things flow toward you effortlessly. The truth is, you can't fake detachment. You can't sit there saying, "I don't care anymore," while still checking your phone, waiting for the message, or hoping the opportunity will appear. That's not letting go, that's pretending to let go. And life doesn't respond to words or forced affirmations. It responds to your inner state, to the vibration of your genuine belief. So the real question becomes, how do you let go without pretending? How do you shift into alignment without forcing yourself to feel something you don't believe yet? The first shift happens when you stop chasing. Most people live in a constant state of "I need this to happen." It becomes their mental background noise. Every thought, every emotion, every action carries a subtle undertone of lack. But here's the paradox: the more you chase, the further it runs. Because every time you say, "Where is it?" you're affirming that it's not here. So pause and ask yourself, if it were already done, how would I feel? Would I be anxious? Would I be searching for signs? Would I be counting the days? No. I'd be calm. Certain. Relaxed. I'd know it's already mine. That's the energy that magnetizes everything you want, not the desperate, restless need, but the calm assurance that it's already here. From that moment, you no longer need to search. You no longer need to manifest, because you're already living from the end. But here's where most people fall off. At first, they feel powerful and aligned. They think, "Okay, I get it. It's already done." But after a day or two, the old voice returns. Where is it? Why hasn't it happened yet? Maybe I did it wrong. And with that one thought, the energy of having collapses back into the energy of not having. That moment, the space between believing and doubting, is where your transformation either deepens or dissolves. It's the test. Most people fail it because they can't sit peacefully in uncertainty. They want control over when and how. They want proof. But true mastery comes when you can stay calm without seeing evidence. This is where surrender becomes your power. Making peace with not knowing when or how is what locks the energy in place. It shows life that you already trust the process. When you no longer need to chase, to control, or to constantly check for signs, you send one clear signal to reality: it's done. And then something strange happens, everything starts to move. Synchronicities appear. People call out of the blue. Opportunities show up by chance. What seemed stuck suddenly begins to unfold. Not because you forced it, but because you stopped resisting it. When doubt creeps in, and it will, don't fight it. Don't try to affirm it away or suppress it. Simply notice it and let it pass. The moment you stop reacting to doubt, you prove to yourself that you no longer need reassurance. You become stable in your belief. And that stability is magnetic. It tells the universe, "I already have it." That's when your energy and your reality finally match, and life, which was always waiting for your alignment, rushes to meet you halfway. You've learned to sit with uncertainty, to stand in that quiet space between wanting and having, between asking and receiving, without breaking the energy of already having it. That's where everything begins to change. It's one thing to say, "I believe," but it's another to hold that belief when the world still looks the same. That's the true test, not of patience, but of trust. And once you pass it, you move into the final stage of creation, locking it in and letting it flow. This is the moment most people never reach, because this is where their faith wavers. They've stopped chasing, they've finally calmed their thoughts, they're living in the feeling of already having it, but when nothing happens immediately, doubt starts whispering again. I'm doing everything right, so why hasn't it shown up yet? And with that single question, they slip right back into waiting mode. That tiny flicker of doubt is like tugging at a seed you just planted to see if it's growing. The moment you dig it up, you interrupt its natural process. What few people realize is that there's always a space, a sacred gap, between assumption and manifestation. That gap is not a delay. It's not the universe testing your faith. It's alignment taking form. It's the world around you reorganizing itself to match your new vibration. Think of it like changing direction on a ship. The wheel turns instantly, but the entire vessel takes a moment to follow. Reality is the same way, it's not ignoring you, it's recalibrating to your new frequency. This gap, this silence, is where your power is truly measured. Most people can believe when the signs are clear. But can you believe when there's no evidence at all? Can you sit in the quiet, trusting that the silence itself means something is happening behind the scenes? Because it is. Every moment you hold your state, reality moves closer to matching it. So here's the final secret: you must make peace with the silence before your manifestation. You have to become comfortable in the emptiness, knowing it's not emptiness at all. It's the in-between, the place where unseen forces are gathering, aligning, building. The people, events, and opportunities you need are being positioned. But if you can't handle that quiet, if you keep reaching for proof, you break the flow. Your task in this final stage is not to force, fix, or figure it out. Your task is to live. To wake up and enjoy your day. To stay relaxed. To act as if it's already done, not because you're pretending, but because deep down, you know it is. When you live from that knowing, from that calm certainty, life moves in ways you can't predict. What once felt far away begins to move toward you with ease. The effort disappears. The tension dissolves. And what shows up feels effortless, natural, even better than you imagined. There's something magical about that silence. When you stop trying to fill it with worry, you begin to hear something else, a quiet hum, a deeper rhythm, the flow of life itself. And that flow is always guiding you toward what's yours. When you align with it, you stop swimming upstream. You stop needing things to happen on your schedule. You begin to trust the timing because you feel it unfolding through you, not around you. So when doubt shows up, because it will, don't panic. Don't fight it. Don't reach for affirmations to bury it. Simply breathe and let it pass. Every time you do, you strengthen your faith. You prove to yourself that you no longer need outer confirmation to feel inner certainty. That's when you become magnetic, when your stillness becomes your signal. Life recognizes that frequency and responds to it, not your words, not your effort, but your calm knowing. That's the point where the game changes. You stop chasing, and everything starts chasing you. You stop forcing, and everything begins to flow toward you. What once felt like hard work now feels like gravity, things are simply drawn to you. Opportunities appear by coincidence. The right people call at the right moment. Synchronicities multiply. And you realize none of it was random, it was all waiting for your alignment. This is the truth about manifestation: it was never about doing more. It was about allowing more. It's not about control, it's about surrender. The moment you stop trying to make it happen and start trusting that it already is, reality shifts to match your belief. You don't need to beg for signs, you don't need to analyze every moment, you don't even need to wonder when. When you live as if it's already done, it has no choice but to appear in form. So now, the choice is yours. You can go back to overthinking, doubting, and waiting, or you can step fully into faith, not blind faith, but embodied knowing. The kind that doesn't need proof because it already feels complete. Take a breath. Feel that stillness inside you. That's the place where everything begins. Say it quietly to yourself, I let go, and it flows. Not as an affirmation you're trying to believe, but as a truth you already live. Because when you reach this point, when you can rest in that silence, trust in the unseen, and allow life to move through you instead of trying to control it, that's when the magic happens. And when it does, you'll look back and realize the silence was never empty. It was full of the very things you were asking for, silently arranging themselves to meet you, waiting for the moment you finally stopped trying to chase them and simply became the version of yourself who was ready to receive.